Just in movies and in television shows, you see from time to time the use of products and the use of product placement. Are there any considerations around that from a legal standpoint?
Sure. So a lot of times when you see something,
Did I distract you?
yeah, yeah, but I think we should keep it. Okay, those are specific product placements, and what it is a trademark license, but it's an interesting one because a lot of times we think of, oh, I go and get a trademark license and I pay to use that, but this is kind of backwards, right? It's more like an influencer type trademark license where the brand is giving a license to the studio or the producer, whoever it is, and at the same time they're paying to have that product placed in that situation. This is the same with Formula One, where those brands are plastered, and that is really really expensive real estate to have your brand plastered on the car or on the helmets or wherever it is. And they're trademark licenses. That's essentially what they are. So there's a lot that goes into that. In some instances, you just want to be aware of it. You wouldn't ever want to take somebody else's brand and just put it into and feature it in your own stuff because you don't have permission to do that. And depending on how you do it, you can get a complaint.
Well, let me ask you about that, Justin. So if let's say I'm an attorney and I wear a Nike hat in a marketing video, would I need to seek permission from Nike to do that, or is there something I need to do for
It's a
that?
it's a great question, and it totally depends. So the way that trademark infringement works is it comes down to whether or not somebody's going to be confused, whether they're going to be confused about whether Nike is endorsing that. So in the instance you just said, Nike, what Nike does is so far from what lawyers do that it's probably unlikely that if you happen to have a Nike hat on or whatever in some sort of video, it's unlikely that people would think, oh, Adam must be endorsed by Nike.
Hmm.
Now, if you're a professional golfer and you start wearing a Nike hat and you're not endorsed by Nike, then all of a sudden this becomes more complicated. So it's really
Hmm.
about context and whether or not people would think that you're endorsing it or if you just happen to, have purchased it and bought it. So it's a really it's a really interesting area, and we see it coming up more now that it's now that it seems like everyone's an influencer, and so I'm sure we'll see more of these things.